camera on. All right. Okay, so again, quickly about exam. This is obviously not us, but this is not even CSM. But yeah, I will also show you something like this. You can forget about name, row, and seat. That doesn't apply. So it might take you 2 screenshots or cell phone twice. So I will go something like this, and I'll say, okay, you got 15 seconds to get this part of the test, right? So do a screenshot or get your cell phone ready and take a picture. So let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then maybe I'll just go like that. And there's the rest of the test. And there you go. Okay. Now at 12, 12:01, 12:02, I will email you or send it by Canvas the test. So if you want to print it out, that makes things a little bit nicer for you also, in addition. Okay. That. All right, so we're here. Again, I only want to take questions from the homework, which was assigned. Okay, so I won't take anything outside of that, please. And yeah, and again, so what do I turn in for homework? All of this, 70%. You must have at least 70% of that. Again, in my opinion, it shouldn't be that hard, since what do we end up doing in class anyway, right? Half, more than half, maybe. Maybe we've already done 70%, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay. All right, so I'll go to chat and take as many questions as I can. Sorry, I'm not sure I can get all of them, but I'll try to do many. Okay, so I see 1.5, 37B. Okay, so 1.5, 37B. Find the exact value. Log base 8 of 60 minus log base 8 of 3 minus log base 8 of 5, like that. Okay, so I'm going to try to, sorry, I'm aiming for what? I'm aiming for quantity more than quality. Okay, I want to help as many people as possible. So if I go fast, sorry, but I want to be able to get everybody. And of course, you can always look at the video back again later anyway. Okay, so log base 8. Okay, so I put the 60 on top. And since both of these have a minus, they both go on the bottom. Okay, so it's divided by 3 times 5, like so. Okay, so 60 is on top. The minus means it goes in the bottom. The minus there means that goes in the bottom. So I have 60 over 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So log base 8 of 60 over 15. That comes out to be 4. Okay, and how do I go from there without a calculator? Call it X. Unscramble it. Okay, so 8 raised to the X is equal to 4. Okay, and now what you want to do is write both of these in terms of a familiar base. A good easy base is base 2. Okay, so write them both as base 2. So 8 is 2 cubed. Okay, so do you agree this is still 8 to the X, right? 2 cubed to the X. I can write 4 as 2 squared. That's still 4. Okay, and then we know we have a rule that says if you have a power and then another power, you can just multiply the powers. 2 to 3x equals 2 squared. And now that it's written like that, I can just equate this. See, the 2 here and the 2 here means I will just equate the exponents. So 3x equals 2. So x is just 2/3. So the answer is 2/3. Okay, I'll go back again, show that. And this should show up in the video. And of course, you can pause as much as you want on the video from there. Okay.
Would we be able to just use a calculator on a problem like this?
Will you ready to use a calculator? If it says no calculator, then no. Okay. This is something you should be able to do without a calculator. Yes, you can use the calculator to double check. Okay. So yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Welcome. Let's see. If you think I missed your attendance again from now on, send me an email. So send me an email. Marat, homework is due. It's always due half an hour after the end of the class. So what would that be? 1:30. So you have until 1:30 tomorrow to turn in your homework. You can turn it in early if you wish. Okay. Let's see. See, Ibrahim, I'm not sure what you're asking for. It says 5.1. We don't have 5 unless you mean 1.5 too. So can you resubmit the question, Ibrahim? It can't be 5.1 because we're not in chapter 5. You can send it again. See, 1.4, number 5. (1.4), number 5. I think this one we just have to talk about it. Okay, write an equation that defines the exponential function with base b greater than 0. That's basically just b to the x. Okay, so 1.45a b to the x. Like this. Okay, so you call exponential functions. They all either look like that or like that. Domain is all real numbers. Range is 0 to infinity. So that was also part of the question. That's true for all exponential functions. And then let's see. Sketch the graph. So this one is b is greater than 1. Base is greater than 1. This one, the base is between 0 and 1. Okay, if the base is equal to 1, it's kind of cheap because 1 to the x is just 1. So it just goes like that. So here, base b is equal to 1. Okay, so that's pretty much that. Okay, 1.153. So they give me x plus y minus 1 squared equals 0. And they ask for the bottom half of the parabola. Okay, write it as a function. So if it says write it as a function, you can just solve for y. So subtract x. Take the square root. Now the bottom half means you want the negative. If it said top half, you could just leave it positive. The bottom half means there. Okay. I also see about partial credit. Yes, I do get partial credit. Okay. In fact, I'll emphasize it again. Show all your work. If you give me an answer, even if it's right, but you don't show me any work, then I'm not going to give you much credit at all, maybe no credit. Okay. On the other hand, you might get that final answer wrong, but if I see step by step, oh yeah, you did this right, you did this right, you did this right, and you just made a small mistake here, yes, you'll get most of the credit on it. Maybe one way I can say it is you could have the correct final answer and get fewer points than someone who has the wrong final answer, but you show me work. Okay, so definitely show me all your work. In general, how much work do I show? Show as much work as I showed you in class. That's always, it's always a good idea, you know, do everything that I do, I guess. Okay, then let's see, where am I? Just add 1, y equals 1 minus, like that. Okay. And let's see, some of them on 1.1, 1.135, I believe was asked for, 1.135, find a domain, fourth root of x squared minus 5x. Okay, it's a fourth root. We're not allowed to take the fourth root of negative numbers. And because it's in the denominator, I'm not allowed to have 0 either. So I need to solve x squared minus 5x is strictly greater than 0. Okay. I cannot take fourth roots of negatives. I can't have 0 in the bottom. So I'm solving this essentially. Okay. All right, so factor out. Okay, so on my number line, I will have x equals 0 and x equals 5. You might recall, since I'm reaching the bottom on my paper, I'm going to go back up for that. So x equals 0, x equals 5. Let me go back and put it over here, please. Okay, so I draw my number line. Here's 0, here's 5, open circle, open circle. Both of them are open because I don't have the line underneath it. If I plug in 0, it would be 0 is greater than 0, false. If I plug in 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 times that is 0. 0 is greater than 0, false. Okay, region 1, 2, and 3. Region 1, 2, and 3. So region 1, how about negative 1? Region 2, 1. Region 3, 6. You plug in negative 1 is a negative. Negative 1 minus 5 is a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. Is a positive greater than 0? Yes, that's true. Shading region 1. Region 2, plug in 1. 1 is positive. 1 minus 5 is negative. Positive times a negative is negative. Is a negative greater than 0? No, that's false. So do not shade in region 2. Region 3, 6 is positive. 6 minus 5 is positive. Positive times a positive is positive. Is a positive greater than 0? Yes, that's true. So the domain is parenthesis, negative infinity, 0, paren, union, paren, 5, comma, infinity, like that. Okay. Okay, let's see, 1.2, number 9, somebody asked for. Okay, 1.2, number 9. You have a family of functions, f of x equals c minus x. What do they have in common? By the way, in case you're playing the game and sneaking in, oh, you know, we're doing more problems and he's showing us the homework. Yeah, I know. That's fine. So maybe I did half. We're doing a lot more. So maybe you're saying he's doing more problems. I get it. I know that's happening. Okay. So that's fine. And you want to put it on your homework, that's fine. But, you know, it doesn't really do you any good if you just copy it all down and you don't understand it, right? So you can turn in the homework. Oh, I got the homework, but I don't really know what's going on. Well, that means maybe you're not going to do so well in a test, right? So make sure you know what's going on. Okay, so what's going on here is we have a slope of negative 1, and we just have different y-intercepts. Okay, so lines with slope negative 1 and different y-intercepts. Different y-intercepts. Okay, slope of negative 1 will fall at a 45-degree angle, right? It's going to be over 1, down 1. They say sketch several members of the family. Okay, so make it fall at a 45-degree angle. Here's the one that goes to the origin. And since we know parallel lines have the same slope, I'll just draw several others that are parallel to that. So maybe like that, and like that, and like that. So there we go. So there are several members of that family, so-called. Okay. Let's see, 1.553b. Okay. Let me get another sheet of paper here. 1.553b. ln x plus ln x minus 1 equals 1. So for x. Okay, there's a plus here. That means it's going to be a product. ln of x times x minus 1 equals 1. Okay. Remember, the log of a product is the sum of the logs. Sum here means multiply here. How do you get rid of ln? Exponentiate. E cancels out. So I have x times x minus 1, x squared minus x equals e. Subtract e. E is a real number. Weird number. That's what I got. Okay, so A is 1, B is negative 1, C is negative e. Use the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared is 1 minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative e, all over 2 times a, 2 times 1. That gives me a double negative, 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 4e over 2. Okay, now I claim that this number is bigger than 1. Okay. E is like 2.7, right? I know what to do. What's the square root of 1? 1. So right now 1 and this is the same thing. And if I add 4e, even if there's a square root, this is now bigger than 1, maybe 1 point blah, blah, blah. Which means if I go 1 minus this, it's going to be a negative. Okay. We already know we cannot take the ln of any negative quantity. Okay. So I throw this one out. So the only real solution is 1 plus, not plus or minus, 1 plus 4e all over 2. And you can just leave your answer like that. Okay. Okay, hurrying along. What time is it? Sometimes I'm doing all this stuff and I don't even look at what time it is. So if I go past 1 o'clock, somebody unmute yourselves and tell me to shut up and, end the class, stuff like that, okay? So, let's see, trying to get 1.2. Okay. Somebody asked for 1.237, but there isn't any such thing, so I'll skip that unless you go over that. Can I go over the difference quotient? Okay, if you have a particular question, so come back and ask again a particular question if you wouldn't mind. 1.5, 37b and 41. Okay, let me see that. 1.5, 37. Okay, I already did 37b. Okay, 41. Okay, that was a longer one. I think we did that yesterday. We'll see. One-third ln x plus 2 cubed plus 1/2 ln x minus ln x squared plus 3x plus 2 quantity squared like that. Okay, since I did it yesterday, I'm going to go pretty fast. The 3 can come down and it cancels to 1/3. Okay, I'll distribute the half. Ln x plus 2, distribute. 1/2 ln x minus 1/2 ln x squared plus 3x plus 2 squared. That 2 can cancel the half. I'll make that half climb back up. Ln x plus 2 plus ln x to the 1/2. Whoops, minus. Sorry, it's a minus. Minus sign. Ln x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so ln x plus 2. Since this is a plus, I multiply x to the 1/2, which means that. And since this is a minus, I divide x squared plus 3x plus 2. This further factors x plus 2 radical x. This is x plus 1, x plus 2. X plus 1, x plus 2. Cancel, cancel. So final answer is ln of radical x over x plus 1, like that. Okay, 1.568a. 1.568a. Arc sine sine of 5 pi over 4. Yeah, this is kind of deceiving. At first glance, you might want to just say, oh, cancel the arc sine and the sine. That doesn't work here. So by order of operations, you do this first. Sine of 5 pi over 4. Where is 5 pi over 4? That's over here. Both x and y are negative radical 2 over 2. Okay, so this thing right here is negative radical 2 over 2. But for the rules of the game, arc sine gives an angle only between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. So only an angle in here. By definition, arc sine comes back with an angle between negative 90 and 90 degrees. So I only want this angle right here, and that angle would be negative pi over 4. Okay, so negative pi over 4 for that one. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to go back, but I'm not sure. If I miss you somehow, you can put it again, I suppose. Sorry. Let's see, 1.133, 1.337. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? 15 or so minutes more. Okay, 1.1. 1.133. 1.133. Find the domain of the function. Yeah. That should not be that bad. Okay. Can I take the cube root of any number? The answer is yes. Okay. Even if it's a negative, the cube root of a negative is negative. 2t minus 1 never bothers us. Domain is automatically all real numbers. Okay. Let's see, 1.3. Okay, 1.335b. Okay, I need some more paper here. 1.335b. So it says f of x is square root of something, x plus 1. G of x is 4x minus 3. The second part is g circle f. Okay, so g circle f is g of f of x. So the next step, what is f of x? F of x is that, radical x plus 1. So g of radical x plus 1. Cover it up. And now whatever is behind my pen goes right over here for g. So it's 4 whatever minus 3. So 4 whatever minus 3, like that. Okay. Let's see. 1 point. Did it ask for the domain? Yeah, domain for this one, x plus 1 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So x greater than or equal to negative 1. So the domain is negative 1 to infinity. It's a square root. Square roots have to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. 1.337, how to find a domain. Okay. I know that was a little bit more complicated. 1.337. In the interest of time, I might have to just do one of them. So x plus 1 over x. G of x was this crazy looking thing. X plus 1 over x plus 2. All right, so I'll do one that has both of them, g and f. Okay, so g circle f means g of f of x. G paren, put inside what is f of x, that's x plus 1 over x. Right away, I know that x cannot be 0. Right, so that's out of the domain. Okay, and now that big mess goes in for g. So mess plus 1 divided by mess plus 2. Here's my skeleton. Right, mess plus 1, mess plus 2, there's the mess. Okay, and clean up the mess. How about multiply top and bottom by x? That makes it look a lot nicer. So times x times x. You might be asking, do I have to do that? Yes, you have to do that. You don't leave an answer like that. It just looks too weird. So x squared plus x plus 1. It looks nicer. It's x squared plus 1 plus x, but I'm choosing to write it like that. And this is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Let's see, x squared plus 2x plus 1, right. And the bottom comes out to be x plus 1 squared. Aha, so that tells me the bottom cannot be negative 1 either. Okay, negative 1 is no good. And 0 is no good over here. So domain is all real numbers minus the set consisting of negative 1 and 0. Okay, so that'll be my answer for that one. Okay, let's see. 1.335C, do I have time for that? I'll give that a try. I think so. 1.335C. As for F, circle F. Okay, so I'm not going to prove with G. What was F? Where's F? Where'd it go? Radical x plus 1. So F of F is F of radical x plus 1. So whatever is behind my red pen there goes right there. So it's radical x plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so I need x plus 1 to be greater than or equal to 0, which means x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Okay. And I also need all of that to be greater than or equal to 0. Plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. Okay, move over to 1. Radical x plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 1. That's always true. Wherever the left-hand side is defined, the square root is always going to be greater than or equal to 1. So my only restriction is here. So for the domain, I have negative 1 to infinity like that. Okay. And let's see. So 1.337, I did that. Going backwards. 1.133. Did I just do 1.132? Yeah, I got that. Okay, going back a little more. Let's see, 1.2. 1.2 number 7. Okay, what time is it? 10 more minutes. 1.2 number 7. Okay, so part A. Sketch several members of the family where the slope is 2. If you don't mind, I'm not going to write the problem down. You've got it there. B says f of 2 equals 1. And C, which one is both? All right, so find the equation of the family of linear functions all with a slope of 2. So mx plus b. There it is. Graph several members of the family. Well, they all have a slope of 2. So they'll all be parallel to each other. So I'm going to just draw 1. Slope of 2 means over 1 up 2. Slope is 2. And all the others just have a different y-intercept and just make them parallel. So maybe one like that, one like that, one like that. Okay, so that's several members of the family. Part B, f of 2 equals 1 means they go to the point 2, 1. So this time I have a fixed point and I just spin around different slopes. So 2 comma 1, 1, 2, 1. There's the point 2, 1. And I'll just draw a whole bunch of lines that go through that. So just different slopes. All right, so one like that, and one like that, and one like that, and one like that, and so on, right? Imagine you hold a spinner there and just spin around. Okay, what's the equation? Well, I'll use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And 2 goes here, 1 goes here, right? This is x1, y1. So x1 is 2, y1 is 1. Clean it up a little. Y minus 1 equals m times x minus 2. Add 1. Y equals mx minus 2m plus 1. So distribute mx minus 2m, add 1, so it looks like that. So f of x equals mx minus 2m plus 1. Yeah. Okay. All right, then which ones are members of both families? Well, both families, we have f of x equals 2x plus b. And we know it has to go through 1, 2. So I just plug in 1 here, 2 here, and solve for b. All right, so 2 equals 2 plus b. That's easy. That means b is equal to 0. So the one function is f of x equals 2x. Okay, so that's it for that one. Okay, I'm not sure if I've gotten everybody. If I missed you, put it again, or you can, what do we have, 5 minutes? Trying to go back through the chat, but of course, you know, it's a little bit slow going through the chat. Or if somebody wants to unmute themselves, I missed your problem, you can go ahead and do that. 1 point, go back and see what I did and what I didn't do. Okay, otherwise I think I'm caught up, but if I missed your question, because it's hard for me to go through and check at the same time. Okay, 1.335C, did I already do that? The other thing, of course, is I'm not sure if I did everything. Yeah, I did that one. Okay. So how about this? If anybody else has something, either unmute yourselves or put it in the chat again. If I missed your question, sorry, because it's hard for me to, you know, kind of go up and down and catch everything. We only have about 5 minutes left. Okay, anybody else with something, please? Okay, 1.3, 37C and D. Okay, try some of that. 1.3, 37. Okay, yeah, Prasanna just sent something on the chat. So everybody, please look at the chat if you want Prasanna to help you, please. 37C is F circle F. Okay, and I might have to stop with that one, but we'll see. What is F again? X plus 1 over X. Okay, so f of x is f of x plus 1 over x. So guaranteed x cannot be 0. Okay, and now that whole mess goes here and here. So it's parentheses plus 1 over parentheses. And what do I put in parentheses? This stuff. X plus 1 over x, x plus 1 over x. And let me see if I can just quickly clean that up. So that's about as good as it gets. Multiply top and bottom here by x. So x plus 1 over x plus x over x squared plus 1. X squared plus 1 can never be negative. It can never be 0 either. So it looks like the domain is all real numbers except for 0. Domain is all real numbers minus the set consisting of 0. Okay, and based on that, I think I have time for the other one. So G circle G also. So part D, G, circle G. So what is G equal to again? X plus 1 over X plus 2. Okay, so G of X is G of X plus 1 over X plus 2. And now that mess goes right there and right there. So it's blah, blah, blah plus 1, blah, blah, blah plus 2, like that. And what do I put inside the parentheses? All this stuff. X plus 1 over X plus 2, X plus 1 over X plus 2. Okay, so we know X cannot be negative 2. Let's clean this up. I can clean it up if I multiply top and bottom by X plus 2. Like this, X plus 2, X plus 2. Distribute, 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 distribute. Okay, so if I multiply this fraction by X plus 2 just cancels out, so I just have X plus 1. And then I have 1 times X plus 2, but that's just X plus 2. Then in the bottom, that times that, we just did that above, right? So again, cancel, you just have X plus 1. And then 2 times X plus 2. Okay, so I just clean that up. So that's going to be what? 2x plus 3, 2x plus 3. And what's the bottom? X plus 1 plus 2x plus 4, looks like. So that's going to be 3x plus 5. 2x plus 3 over 3x plus 5. Okay, aha. So I set the denominator equal to 0. 3x plus 5 equals 0. Subtract 5. 3x equals negative 5. Divide by 3. X equals negative 5/3. So I have to throw out negative 5/3 from the domain. And way back over here, I have to throw out, what was it, negative 2. So domain is all real numbers minus the set consisting of negative 5/3. And what was the other one? Negative 2. And that's that. Okay. Can you cancel out when you're adding? I'm not sure what you mean exactly, Joey. If you're talking about right here, like can I cancel X plus 1 with X plus 1? No, that's not allowed. It's only when it's all multiplication and division. Okay. After the exam is completed, when will I finish grading them? Well, I'll try to do it over the weekend, but maybe Monday or Tuesday after I get them all done. I'm not going to drag it out. Let's just put it this way. If I give you a test on campus on Friday, I usually try to have it back to you by that Monday. I have the whole weekend. It's a little bit harder now because, you know, I don't have the physical tester. I got to open up the file and maybe I can't read the file. So I'm not promising that, but I'll try to get to you, very fast as much as possible. Okay. Quickly about cancellation. So AB over AC. Here the A's cancel. But don't cancel if you have something like this for another, if that's what you mean. No cancellation here, if that's what you mean. But like this, you can cancel. All right. Okay, folks, it's 1 o'clock, so time's up. Have a good afternoon, and I'll see everybody for the test tomorrow. Okay. All right. Bye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon.
Thank you.